Is a basic income affordable? If we set it at $52,000 a person, it would bankrupt the entire country. This is the 2014 Federal Poverty Guidelines. If the size of the family is one person, poverty is set at $11,670 or below. So if you give a subsistence guarantee to every adult of $11,671, by definition, literally by definition, you eradicate poverty in the United States. That would cost $2.33 trillion a year. Is that attainable? There are many people who have developed budgets in order to come to that magic number to eradicate poverty. They're all debated. I'm not going to go into all of them now, but essentially, you eliminate all individual and corporate income transfers in existence with the exception of health care and disability insurance. No more food stamps, no more housing vouchers, no more special services, no more agricultural subsidies. That would save $1 billion. You have to get an equal amount through tax reform, eliminating deductions, maybe mortgage deductions, maybe a transaction tax on stocks, and you can get the other half. It would be a battle royale because it would pit very powerful vested interests. But mathematically, it's doable. The second issue is a philosophical one. Is subsistence a right? There are many people who object to this by saying, no, it's just a handout. You're just giving people a handout. They have to earn this money. And if we're giving them a handout, we're going to monitor them. Whereas other people, and I would put myself in this camp, that say that there's no such thing as a right to life unless it's accompanied by provision for that life. We don't tell people to earn the air they breathe. It's part of subsistence. Nor should we ask them to earn shelter, clothing, minimal food, and water. That should be a right. Above that right, we keep all the incentives of capitalism. This is not socialism. This is not communism. This is not a redistribution of income. I'm impressed with the wealth that capitalism has created. I know that people need incentives. I'm not talking about redistribution plans. I'm talking about that we have a right to survive in a very basic way. And above that, once we as a society guarantee that right, good luck to you. Exercise your talents, differentiate yourself, but everyone's going to survive. Some proponents of the basic income guarantee have said that a compromise position between having subsistence be an absolute right, accruing to existence in life, and nothing more, and the idea that everything is a responsibility that we get in this life. Their middle ground position is that the basic income guarantee comes with one requirement, a participation requirement. And all it says is that you have to show that you've done something constructive for the other people in society. It could mean taking care of an elder person, taking care of children, volunteering at a school. There are so many things that we can do. It would be very, very easy to have that participation, and it would change the dynamics of how we interact with each other. And last but not least, the most psychological of all, people have alleged that if you get a basic income guarantee, it would destroy the motivation to work. How many people, if you got $11,671 a year for the rest of your life, indexed to inflation, would stop working? it would be a very, very modest life. Even if you got together with, if you were married or had a significant other or a good friend or a family member, let's say you band together in 2 or 3, 4 people. It's still a very, very modest life. Of course, there'll be some people who would band together and not work, but you can't judge a system by its exceptions. You have to judge it by its overall impact. If we were to judge it by exceptions, we'd say we have to dismantle capitalism because there's homeless people. Work gives identity. Work gives purpose. Work gives meaning. Work gives us a way to participate in the society. These are the issues of affordability, right versus responsibility, and the relationship between the income guarantee and the motivation to work that the success of this will hinge upon. I should mention that Switzerland is actually the first country putting a referendum forward for a basic income guarantee. Now, in typical Swiss style, it's $33,000. We should all move. Now, what about, in conclusion, the prospects for a basic income guarantee in the United States of America? Right now, as I said, we live in a very polarized society. Very, very difficult for the political process to do anything. That this is not a recession, that economic stagnation and disillusionment, as this goes on and on and on, is going to grow. And when it does, I would suspect that there'll be social rebellion. Because we have the same constituency that occurred in the last example of successful social rebellion, which was to stop the draft in the Vietnam War. The educated classes, if they join the poor and the working class, then you have the traditional constituency that has had sufficient power. Students and workers unite and fight. That could do something. We saw a glimmer of this with Occupy. It felt something. It felt the rage that young people feel. It felt all the things without really being able to talk about them that we've talked about today. But it didn't have a coalescing issue. But if that constituency gets lit up again and you attach it to an issue like the basic income guarantee, you have a chance at a grand bargain. Through the basic income guarantee, it would allow the left and the right to support it and both declare victory. Because the left could say, we've eradicated poverty in the United States. And the right could say, we've dismantled the welfare state and significantly shrunk the size of government. These are the cherished goals of the left and the right, and they can both declare victory through the same legislation. And that's what the elites will tell them to do. We have a chance. Right now, it may be a bit of tilting at windmills, but we're going to start and advocate for this. But if, as I suspect, the disillusionment grows because of the labor problems that I've talked about, you may find this progression unfolding. Thank you.